Hi everyone, my name is Phyllis and I'm the owner of Phyllis Home Decor, quilting for the home. So last time I had shown you quite a few products and new patterns and everything. I got some more new patterns in, and then I wanted to talk about a project I'm working on and also something that is dear to me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I found a new supplier for patterns, and I really had a lovely conversation with the lady who I got on the phone, and I found these new patterns by Cluck Cluck Sew. So some of you who don't know me, I order my patterns and my supplies and my fabric 90% of the time from wholesalers here in Canada, and I sell on my website in Canadian dollar. I ship across Canada and the US and the world. So right now across Canada I have free shipping for $75 and up. So if you guys want to take advantage of that, I would. So I just wanted to put that out there. So this new supplier, I found these new patterns from Cluck Cluck Sew. Love the name. The lady who I talked to was kind enough to actually send me 2 free patterns. And the first one she sent me is Tea Party. And this is really, really sweet. I kind of like these patterns, a lot of them, because the patterns are written for jelly rolls or strips or layer cakes or squares or whatever, right? So this one is working with jelly rolls. So you'd need 1 jelly roll or 34 assorted 2.5 inch strips or 12 assorted quarter yards. Okay, so she gives you a couple options. And I think these are really, really sweet patterns. So that's the first one that she gave me. The second one she gave me was Sophie. This looks like an applique. I think the only thing that's applique is the center, in the center, but I don't quote me on that, I haven't looked. There's multiple sizes that you can do. Let me see this one too. This one, she's just got the one size. So this one is just got the one size. 74.5 by 82.5. All right, so this one has multiple sizes in it. Here she's just using assorted colors. For the baby, you need 6 assorted colors. For the crib, you need 10 assorted colors. That's 1/3 of a yard of each color. For the throw, it's 15 assorted of 1/3 of a yard each. 24 assorted, 1/3 of a yard each. And for the twin, it's 24. And for the queen, it's 36 assorted yards. They're going up, I can't figure, by 5s, I think. More than 5. It's substantial. Okay, so this is called Sophie. It's a really, really nice pattern. All right. Now we have in tune. They look like tune forks, musical tune forks. This again has 1, 2, 3, 4 from a throw, which is the size that you see here on the cover, to a king. So twin, queen, and king. Okay, and this one uses pre-cuts, 2.5 inch strips. If you want to do the throw, you need a 30 strips. For the twin, you need 48 strips of 2.5, or she gives you an alternative of assorted quarter yards. Okay, for the queen you'd need 64 pre-cuts, 2.5 inch strips, or again sorted 16, and the king 72 pre-cut 2.5 inch strips. I personally think most of these fabrics, this is one of the reasons why I chose them, is that this is a good place to bust your stash. Okay, all 3 of these, even though she's telling you use a jelly roll, there's no reason why you can't go in and find 40 different fabrics out of your stash and cut enough to do to get a jelly roll out of your stash. Okay, 2.5 inch strips. this one was assorted yardage. Okay, so this one is called Starstruck. Oh my god, I'm so bad. Alright, so you have again a crib, throw, large throw, twin, and queen. And again, it is, they're using fat quarters for this one and yardage for the backgrounds. Okay. Very, very nice. Hoopla. Again, this one is using 28 strips, or so assorted 2.5 inch strips. So you need 28 for the baby size, throw 58, twin 82, and queen 126. Again, this is definitely a stash buster. Okay, all of these are. This is suburb. It's a bunch of little houses, and this is using layer cakes or 10 fat quarters or quarter yards. Okay, so layer cakes, or you know, the throw calls for 1 layer cake, the twin calls for 1 layer cake and 3 fat quarters, and the full or queen size calls for 2 layer cakes. Again, you know, they're 10-inch squares. Read the pattern, figure out what you need, how many you need to do each quilt size, and then, you know, figure it out. 10-inch squares out of your stash buster. Once again, ring toss. I like this one. It's got ovals and you've got circles. So again, another great, and these ones are calling for jelly rolls. So the throw size is calling for 1 jelly roll of 2.5 inch strips, or 36 2.5 inch strips. So 1 jelly roll or 36 2.5 inch strips. The twin size is 1 jelly roll and 12 2.5 inch strips. So you need 1 full jelly roll, that's like 40 or 42, and then another 12. Okay, or 52 2.5 inch strips in total. Full queen is 2 jelly rolls or 65 2.5 inch strips, and she does give you assorted yardage if you want. But again, this is definitely a stash buster. Okay, isn't that sweet? All right, so that's it for the patterns. They just came in this week, and they're not up on the website. Whatever is left from Quilt Canada, if I sell them all, I'll order them again and then get them onto the website. Now, what I wanted to discuss today is Quilts of Valour. I was just at a quilt show last weekend, and it was the Chateauguay show here in Quebec, South Shore, and Bonnie was there, and she was selling these Quilts of Valour blocks. I took 2. They're $5 each, and they come pre-cut. So all you have to do is sit down and start assembling and sewing. I'm going to do this on my weekend away with my best friend. She was here for dinner last night and we were talking about it, and her husband's getting ready to, because my husband and myself and her husband are going away for a little visit to Vegas. I've never been. My husband's been quite a few times. She's been, I think, once or twice, and her husband's been multiple times. He loves Vegas. So, it comes with instructions, these Quilts of Valour, and this is quilt hugs from across the nation. So basically you can get in touch with anybody on the website, Quilts of Valour, and then you can, I'm sure on the website they'll have a list of people who are doing these, handing these things out. I paid $5 for each pattern. Okay, that pays for the fabric and the paper and whatever else. This one is being asked to be mailed to Edmonton, Alberta. So all you have to do is, even though you get it from somebody here in Quebec, if you're in Quebec or if you're in Alberta or Ottawa, Ontario or whatever, even though you get it, you mail it. They have right here they have the address of where to send the finished block. Please send it to whatever address is on that, and follow the instructions. I have to put my name and what province on the front of the block. It says so here. Please mark your city or region on the front of the block. Yes, the front of the block. Your block should be mailed to the address provided with the pattern. So these patterns go to this address, and then she disperses them back out to the different provinces, and they will either assemble the blocks into a quilt, and then it will be given to a Quilts of Valour. So basically what she wants is she wants to get all the quilts back, all the blocks back from everybody across Canada. She will make sure every quilt has a block from each province, or whatever, as much as possible, depending on who's doing them and where they're coming in from. She sends them back out, I believe, and then they get assembled and quilted, and then they're sent to somebody, and that person will present it to one of our veterans. All right? So I got this block, and I got the new water wheel block. So there's several blocks to choose from. Bonnie was there. It cost me $5 each. Great cause. I put together maybe 2 to 4 blocks a year for something like this, and I also quilt for free up to 2 quilts, maybe sometimes 3, depending on how busy I am, for Quilts of Valour. It's something close to me, because my brother-in-law is in the service. And I feel very strongly that I should be doing something for our servicemen, and this is how I do it. I'm very, very busy, but it doesn't take me very long to prep one of these blocks, and they come prepped. Like I said, you see the pieces. Everything's been cut down. All I have to do is follow the instructions and do some sewing and maybe some trimming up, and that's it. And not even. And I choose blocks that I can put together, and they're very simple blocks. They're not hard blocks to put together. Anybody with a sewing machine, if you choose to do it with a machine, you can do them by hand, I'm sure. Take the time. It's the same techniques. You can follow the same techniques, but you're just going to do a running stitch by hand. So now I wanted to do an update. I've been working on my English paper piecing, hexagon, diamond, star quilt, whatever you want to call it. And I had shown my medallion thing, and I'm going to hold it up here, okay, this, to some of my guru quilting friends who are avid quilters, and they suggested that I change out this fabric for something darker, because they felt it was being washed out with all the other pieces that I'm putting together. Even though I haven't used any light ones, but some of my pieces are quite dark. So like this one and this one. So even though I'm trying to use some of the same fabrics, these are reading much darker than the center was, and I'm going to put a red fabric on this outer edge before I attach all my English paper piecing together. And I mentioned that excuse me, I mentioned that I wanted to assemble them with an equilateral triangle in this area. All of these, so I can get a straight line, so I can applicate this down onto the center medallion. So I think I think they were right. I think it needed to be changed. So I've kept this green fabric and this mauvey fabric. Hold on. This mauvey fabric, and I've kept this green fabric, but I've changed out the light pink fabric to the red background fabric. So same fabric, except it's red. And I've been working on, ooh, this is bent. All right, so I've been working on putting these together. And then I'll just undo this and applique, once this is all done and ironed, I will applique this to the center, and then I can get back to doing other stars. So this will go in here. This will go in here. Can you see that? Like that, okay? So there, I'm done. I have done it. My daughter will be pleased. She won't have to edit this one, and I'll be able to get it up soon. Remember, I am going to be at Quilt Canada in June, June 12th to the 15th at the EY Center in Ottawa. Please come. I believe my my booth number is 1935. I believe. I'll put that information down below. If you want to see more of these, subscribe, and if you want to have notification of when they're coming, when I upload one, click the bell so it will ding at you when you get when I upload. So I hope to see you at Quilt Canada. Happy quilting. Bye for now. Bye.